I'm going to do another sub-assembly glue up before I do anything else. These three pieces go together like I just showed. And I feel better about this, not rushing this thing and doing a little bit here and there. I don't have to rush. I don't have a reason to rush it. I just kind of want it done. I'm not going to lie. And it's not that I'm impatient. I've wanted a model of spacecraft for quite some time, and rocket engines. And the ones you could buy, like my all-time favorite would be a Saturn V, are ridiculously expensive, and I do not have money for those. So I never have bought one because, well, I don't have money for something like that. Now, walk in and I have a 3D printer. And what does that mean? I can print them. That's what that means. I can print them. I can glue them together. Okay? These pieces down here keep wanting to come out. You know, they want to come out until I'm trying to pull them out to glue them in. And then they're like, no, they're just alignment pins. So they're not going to be an issue. Now, the big issue is this one up here, because there's warnings about it in the directions. And I'm not 100% sure of how it goes just yet. So I may or may not glue that one on. But I've got two alignment pins here for it. And one of the two is going to work for it. Yeah, that one went in. Okay. Now the warning is on this gray plate right here. Sorry, I keep flashing you all my big fat belly right here. Is to make sure this is aligned correctly. It can be flipped and off a few degrees, which is wrong. Okay, so, and I'm not sure what they mean by that, but it goes across, it goes over the top like this. And if I flip it, let's flip it over. It's going to fit either way because of the nature of the pin. It does fit. And I'm not sure what's going on with that. This goes on top like this. Okay, I'm not sure what they mean by it can be flipped and backwards by a few degrees. Okay, so I'm going to have to examine this a little bit further. Oh, and it wants to come apart. So I'm not going to be gluing this right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp this and let it sit while I try to figure out what is going on with it. Let me get my Irwin clamps again. Irwin's just the company that made them, and I don't think they're going to be big enough for this. Nope, they're not. So what I'm going to do, this is not flat on the bottom. I wish it was flat on the bottom. If I can pull those out, it can be flat. It is flat on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it down, get something heavy, and put it on top of it real quick. The one thing I have up here that is heavy is a vise. I'm not going to put that vise on there. That is far too heavy. And if it falls over, it will break things. That is not heavy enough. This is heavy enough. I just got to loosen it up. Get it a little bit more compact. This is one of my old camera lights. Now if I can get it to... Oh, there we go. Perfect. Let that sit overnight. That'll glue up. Then I can figure out the drama with this plate tomorrow when I've had some rest and finish gluing this all together. Right now I've got a leak under my kitchen sink that I have to figure out what's going on. And I'm not sure when it started leaking, and that's another bad part. And I can't find it because there's no dripping. That's implying that it leaks when I run the washing machine, the dishwasher, and none other time, which isn't too hard to deal with. The wood doesn't look wet. It doesn't look damaged. I have a silicone mat down there to protect everything, so that is a good thing. Things aren't going to be damaged because of the silicone mat. So the wood is not getting wet. The water's contained in the silicone. It hasn't spilled out. It isn't everywhere. Further reinforcing the fact it's the dishwasher. I got the dishwasher full, but I can pull it all and hand wash it all. That doesn't bother me. I just got to figure out what's leaking and why. I'll be back in a bit. Everyone, we got a different camera angle today. You get to see my fat belly. Okay? Now this is glued. The part that broke, I can't see it without looking hard, was over here. Okay, it's been glued in. I do some light sanding. I'll probably fix it. But honestly, if I just display this correctly, there won't be any issues and no one will know. Okay? Then we got this part we need to glue on next, and there's some piping and stuff that goes on this, but this is pretty easy to glue on. It goes on like this. It's keyed to go on only a certain way. It goes on like that. And we're gonna have some pipe connection issues right here. And if I were to get a 3D pen out, and I do have a 3D pen, I could use some filament, or I could just use a torch and fix that, but I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. I am going to go ahead and glue this on though, because all the parts that are missing go up the top. Actually, I can wait. We'll go and glue all the parts together to go at the top of this thing. Like we have this, we have this, we have a few pipes over here. I've got a few extra parts sitting around. The big one I got to figure out is it's warning you be careful of this, that only one side goes up. And I'm still not sure what side goes up on this part right here. Okay, so let's look at the directions one more time. We have fully completed this step, okay, except we have not glued this bottom part to this. That's the one piece we have not done on this step. So this step I can just set apart. Okay? Now we're getting to the pieces I have not done. There's two pieces on this I've not glued together. And I think that probably ought to go next. Yeah, I pretty much have these in order. So yes, this part has to go next. So on this one, I've not glued this pipe and I've not glued that part on yet. So let's go ahead and do those. Okay. Now they go down around where this piece is. So let me hunt those pieces up. Let me set that over here where I can see it. One of them has clamped and is drying somewhere on here. Okay. And the other one is this piece right here. So I have the pipe in hand. I got to find the part that I clamped and walked off on. And you think I would be a little bit prepared for this? I usually am. Did I put it under this by chance? No, I see the clamp I was using. I was using the clamp like this. Oh, I found it. It's in the chair down here. I can't find anything because it's in the chair I normally would sit in. But there's clamps everywhere, so I wouldn't have sat on the part. So here's the missing part. So I got both parts for this. Okay, there's a notch for this to go in, and this goes opposite that notch. So I shouldn't have too much trouble figuring out where that goes, especially since I have this part glued on like I probably shouldn't have. Oh, I found the pipe. The pipe is going to go around like, oh, it can't go around like that. That ain't going to work. Don't tell me I got things glued on wrong, or the pipe's too small. This piece definitely goes in here like this. I'm going to have to look at that pipe because that pipe doesn't look like it's going to work. It's probably missing a piece, and that's part of the problem. Okay, but this piece is definitely going here. And it's showing that this part goes out. Don't tell me I'm bad. I don't want to reprint half this. Well, I can't reprint half of it. I don't have that silver anymore. Let me get some better light in here. Oh, the light's on? Yeah, the lights are on. I don't have anything burning out. I can get better light by just doing that, honestly. Yeah, there is a keyed slot for this to fit into. I might have to sand this a bit. I don't want to break anything because these pipes right here are really, really fragile. They'll break when you breathe on them. Okay? Could be I have this wrong, and that would explain why it's not fitting. One of the things I've learned in my life, if you force it, you're going to break it. And that's definitely not right. From the photo over here, let me move the engine bell out of the way. From the photo over here, it looks like this part should be up. Okay? It really looks like this part should be up. Yeah, and we have our piece like here. Maybe I shouldn't have glued this in first, but that doesn't look like that is going to be an issue. I just might have to sand this a little bit. That's what I probably have to do. And all my sanding stuff is downstairs because I'm working on something huge. Okay? And there is a pipe that connects this to this black piece up here. So this has got to connect. Use this pipe here. This pipe. Don't break things. This pipe here goes from this piece right here up to this piece here. Okay? And in order for this orientation to work, yeah, it ain't working. So I'm getting the feeling that I may have to reprint half of this, and I'm going to regret it, which is not going to be good. But the picture's misleading a little bit. Okay? So I might have to go off camera and try to figure this out and figure out what's going on and how this works. Because this orientation right here works. If this goes in this slot here like this, that will reach that, but that's not what the picture looks like. My second picture here looks like this. Okay? This part is right there. I haven't put this part on yet. I don't have this part on yet either. Okay? Which is really weird because, here's the missing picture. Okay? Here's the missing picture for that part. I have this here. This glues onto there. Like that. And I knew there was a piece missing. Then this piece goes around like this. Now this is making sense. Yeah, this is making 100% sense right here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these two parts on. And yeah, it's really weird right there, but we're not going to worry about that too much. Let me go ahead and glue these on, because this will keep this from breaking if I hit it wrong. It'll just strengthen it up a bit. And from the look of this, yes, this piece right here, putting some glue on her. That piece goes there, like that. It's not going to hold itself on. What will help hold it on is getting this piece on correctly. Now this piece is supposed to go around like this and connect to here, like that. Okay? So I can glue this piece on, and it'll pretty much hold itself at that point because the notches and the grooves fit it fairly decently. So I get some glue in here. And some glue in here. And if I put this piece back in correctly, it'll kind of hold itself in place, and like it's doing, and we're good. That's holding itself in place. It fits in there really nicely. So you can see it looks like it goes into there like it should, and that is good. So we got that piece done correctly. Okay? Now, along with this, it shows this piece, the one I'm having trouble with, but it shows it's fitting. Okay? You can see these 6 bolt holes correspond to those 6 bolt holes. So this thing should be sitting in here like this. It should be sitting in here like this from the looks of it. It doesn't fit in that notch very well, which is way down inside here. If I turn this lamp, you should be able to see it better. There's a notch right here for this to sit in. So I know the orientation of this now should be like this. And I do not think gluing these parts together would have changed the difficulty of this fitting in. It just needs to be sanded and the fit done a little bit better. And then when I get it there, where's this? This hose here is supposed to go. This is not going to work. That can't be the right hose. Okay, that just cannot be the right hose. This has to be that hose, but this doesn't look right. Nope. That doesn't look right. So I have an issue with something not being correct here. I might have to go print some. That's not right. It's supposed to go into this hole right here. And it's supposed to go from here down to this. So this is probably glued on wrong, but it's keyed. So it can't be glued on wrong if it's got a key. It's upside down. I glued this piece on upside down. Found the issue. Now, let's see if wife is with me. And I can pry it apart. I'll be back in a bit. I'm going to have to pry this apart because I glued it upside down. That's what I was warning about in the directions.